So I know I said that I paid 25 gold pieces each. I'm gonna up that to 50.
And she drops his egg.
Yeah, Heel's gonna blow into the pipe.
Welcome to Wicked City. This is a Dungeons & Dragons game of heists and criminal politics where a group of petty thieves race to find the Vault of Dragons and its 1 million gold coins. Our players are Schizofreak as Blinken the Gnome Ranger, Kirbitha as Huel the Halfling Bard, Brax as Destry a Human Warlock, and Sean as Inchi the Goblin Wizard. Last time, a crew of 4 petty criminals was approached by a master thief named Galanus. He asked them to break into Eltorchul Museum and steal a new exhibit, the Merkmier Stone, which is actually the egg of an eldritch horror, and return it to a Dr. Cassie Daniels, who can contain it before it hatches. Destry used his noble connections to get a tour of the exhibit, and the crew saw that Galanus has this mysterious blue stone that seems to affect people's memories.
Right now, you are all at the yawning portal. So go ahead and roll initiative, and let's see who wakes up first.
All right.
I had to restart my computer. Do you mind rolling for me, DM?
All right, let's go initiative.
Inchi rolled a 9. So it's going to be Blinken first. Blinken, you are sleeping with everybody else in Galanus's room in the yawning portal. The yawning portal provided a little cot for you to sleep on. It's not like super fancy in quality, but it's good. The bar owner, Dernan, used to be an adventurer back in the day, and he never lets his customers sleep on the floor. So you got this nice cot, but as you are sleeping, you're dreaming, but something interrupts your dream. The sound of chains being dragged along the wooden floor. And that's not coming from your dream. It's coming from the real world. What do you do?
So I know it's coming from the real world then.
Yes, sir.
So I would probably kind of stir and, open my eyes a bit and figure out and see if I could figure out what's going on.
You open your eyes. The room is dark. You can see that the outside hallway is lit by dim lamplight. There's a window in this room. It's cracked open so that you get some fresh air with the 5 men sleeping in the room. And your eyes haven't adjusted to the darkness yet. Where would you like to focus?
I'm going to assume if I thought the chains would be maybe outside the door or something, towards the door.
You look towards the door. Roll a perception check.
Yeah.
A 5. You're looking at the door. There's no movement or shadows changing in the lamplight in the cracks around it, but you swear you hear the sound of those chains from behind you by the window. You turn around and nothing's there. But as you turn, you can see that Galanus is sitting upright in his bed, looking towards the window. His face has always been so calm, charming, genuine, even though he's been acting serious. But right now, he looks scared. He is covered in beady sweat, and he's clutching his fist to his chest. But he is making no noise.
I kind of do a hush whisper and said, Galanus, what are you doing? What's going on?
Oh, I'm sleep eludes me tonight, Blinken. I'm gonna go hang out in the hearth area, and maybe some walking will do me some good. And he gets up and he's wearing straight up an old Western onesie cloth thing.
Okay.
From Back to the Future 3.
Yeah.
And he puts on some leather slippers, and he gently and without a sound, you notice, completely, no sound at all. He walks across the room. He opens the door. The door makes a sound, but he does not. And he closes the door and walks outside. What would you like to do?
Well, I probably would follow him and see what's going on, but first I would probably check that window and see if I could, orientate where this chain sound is, because it's now making me curious.
Looking around the window and staying there for a minute, you notice it's not a very windy night. There's not a lot of wind causing movement or chimes or pieces of wood to hit each other or things like that. You also look around the window, stick your head out of it. There's no chain decorations anywhere around here either. You cannot identify anything that would have made that noise.
I'll scratch my head and I'm going to look around and just kind of shrug and head out towards wherever Alanis will be.
Roll a stealth check, and you're going to contest that with his perception.
Okay. God damn it. All these low rolls.
You don't know what he rolled, but you see that he was in the hearth, but he walked from that all the way to the door. He put on a little coat that was by the wall, and he walked outside.
Nobody around, right? It's kind of quiet.
Yeah, it's the dead of night. The yawning portal isn't open 24 hours a day. You know,
Okay.
it's an inn also for adventurers. Durden likes to get his sleep. He likes for his guests to get their sleep.
Right.
So the bar area closes at 1 a.m. and it reopens at 7. So it's about like 4 o'clock right now, not even dawn.
I think I'll follow him since he's just walking outside, and I'm just kind of making sure he's okay.
Walk out the door, and you notice that he has walked over to the stable area in the back of the yawning portal. And he's messing around with what you think is Huel's cart. You remember Huel talking about getting a cart that had a shiny coat of paint but needed some work? And there's a cart there that looks like it's been freshly painted. There's torchlight around. So you can see that there's this cart with a fresh coat of paint but a broken wheel. And Galanis is messing around underneath the seat cushion. And he pulls out a pouch that jingles a little bit. And he reaches into that pouch and he pulls out a golden key. He puts that pouch back under the seat. He pats that seat back down, clearly a hiding spot. And he pulls out a golden box from his pocket. And he inserts the key and turns it. And you hear that professional voice that gave you the briefing about Dr. Daniels say, "Gee, we really do miss you here. Please come home soon. You're so needed, more than you could know. Waterdeep can wait. We have more important things." And then you just see him sit down and kind of stare off at the stars.
Okay. I think with that, I'll head back inside. I'm not going to pursue any further for that.
You are awakened a few hours later by the Clockworkers Guild. They go through the streets banging a gong on the hour every hour to help people wake up on time so that they can get to work. It's a nice soft gong. Inchi, you wake up next. What would you like to do this morning in the yawning portal?
And she was like sleeping at the bottom of the bed like a cat does sometimes. And he just kind of wakes up stretching his back, his butt, getting accumulated to the morning. And he walks downstairs or to wherever the barkeep is, and he asks him, "Hey, where's the dump around here? You got a dumpster?"
The bartender is a young human woman with ginger hair named Bonnie, and she says, "Oh yeah, it's around back. What do you need out of the dumpster though?"
I just got some food to throw away. Thank you, ma'am. And she's gonna. Yes.
Roll a deception check. DC 10.
7.
You got a 7?
Mhm.
So she goes, "Oh, before you go out there, I was wondering if you would like to sample the house meal. The house breakfast."
That house break. What is that? I ain't gonna eat no house.
Breakfast. It's breakfast for all of us here that work at the Yawning Portal. Me, Clyde, my brother, my cousin, and Durnan. We all cook a little something at the start of the day to keep us going. And you know what? I'm quite famished today, and you could have mine. Or I'm quite opposite of famished. I'm quite full today, so you could have mine.
Oh, really? I mean, yeah. I'll take that. I'll take that off your hands.
She says, "Fantastic. It's salmon omelets today. The ships are coming in from the harbor, so cheap fish abound. Please enjoy."
Fish and egg at the same time? Oh, lady, you're too kind. What's your name, miss?
My name's Bonnie.
Bunny?
Bonnie. B-O.
Bonnie. Oh, I'm sorry, lady. I got sewage in my ears. Thank you. I really appreciate this. And she just kind of like bare fists the food into his mouth.
All right. Next up is Huel. You wake up in the room in the yawning portal. Destry is the only one there other than you. What would you like to do first thing in the morning?
Hill gets up, does a big stretch, like cracks his back. He's like, "Oh," and he stumbles into the next room. And just like joins everyone early. He just starts smoking on a pipe, it was like a wooden pipe. Before he got like coffee or breakfast, he's sitting there smoking.
And she doesn't say good morning. With a mouthful of food, he just kind of waves at his friends.
Yeah, like he'll just raises his pipe up. He doesn't even say. He just raises it. Like,
Well, I'll say to the people, have you seen Galantis around?
Latest. It was that weird man the other day.
Yeah, he was the one that gave us this job. I think he left in the middle of the night. I woke up and he just left. So I don't know if he noticed anything or not.
I did not.
he was doing like that Forrest Whitaker. He's like half awake. He's like one eye's closed, one eye's open. He's looking around. He's like, I don't see Glennis anywhere. It's a big yawn. Keeps smoking.
Interesting. I was having some weird dream. I had to wake up, and then I just saw him, and he's like, "Oh, pardon me." Just walks out. So I didn't know if y'all knew what's up.
No, I had some pretty crazy dreams. Yeah,
Slept
I
like
would
a
talk
log.
about it.
Okay. I'm kind of curious.
Isn't there
about
another
this
fella?
museum.
He's probably upstairs sleeping in his bed.
Oh yeah, that weirdo. What was his name? I forgot. What was Tree?
I left the room as quiet as I could to let him sleep. He looked like a baby. If he was just like still puffing on this pipe, like little puffs here, little puffs there, you just like hear like.
Huel, how big is your pipe compared to you?
Good question.
It's like actually a bit massive because he's a halfling, right? So he's smoking a pipe that would be like for a human, so it's like a bit more bigger.
It's like a clarinet,
Oh.
or it's just a clarinet.
Yeah, it looks like a clarinet.
Smoking on that flute, you hit it, hit the bong sideways.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah, he's holding it in one hand, like balancing on his knee, but it's huge.
So after a while of talking, I'm going to say Brax's character Destry comes down and is not feeling very talkative. He looks like he didn't get a lot of sleep last night. He needs to be here because he's the one that talked his aunt into getting him into the museum. So I'm just going to play him as not very talkative. If that's okay with everybody. Shortly after that, Galanis comes back in through the front door of the yawning portal. He is dressed exactly as he was yesterday in those fine clothes that have clearly been repaired in patchwork with rougher materials, that weathered 10-gallon hat, and a very short chin-strap beard along his jawline. He comes over to the table and he says, "By my usual morning order, 1 carafe of piping black coffee and 1 bottle of fire wine whiskey. Thank you very much." And he sits down at the table and he says, "Well, good morning, crew. How'd all y'all sleep?"
Pretty good. Thanks for the bed. And she just kind of stuffs more egg into his mouth.
There you go, man. That's the good life right there. Fine bed, fine food, and new companions. So, gentlemen, I want to talk to you about a few things. One, I was sensing some hesitation from all of you. So I know I said that I'd pay you 25 gold pieces each on completion of this operation. I'm going to up that to 50 gold pieces each.
And she drops his egg.
Yeah, he was gonna blow into the pipe and like the ash goes fly. He's like, you said 50, right? Not 15 extra. You mean 50 big ones?
5 goose egg gold dragon in your hand upon completion of the mission. But I went out. I did some of my own research last night. Talked to a few people. Put on a few masks. I believe we have even less time than Dr. Daniels believes. I believe we have tonight and we have tomorrow. Steal a stone. We're up in the reward, but we're up in the timetable. Is everybody still on board with that?
Yeah, I think that'll do. We just need information and make sure the place is good. I mean, I look at the party and I go, we should probably get to the museum and see what we could see. Try to.
Oh yeah. For 50 gold, yeah, I'm right on that. Now look, I said it last night sometime that Nilhord, my boss over at Xanathor Guild, he is telling me to steal a key for a Castellator. I don't remember what the name was, but I saw her name on that museum. Maybe there's some information we could get there. I'm not quite sure, but I've gotten in with them.
I encourage you to pursue every avenue you can. I, however, will not be joining you. I have some things that I need to take care of in this city, and I got to get out. My time here is running short. I've overstayed my welcome on this plane. So I will be at the gala tonight, hobnobbing with the rich folks in a disguise. I have my own things to do. I trust that this job is simple enough that all of you working together will be able to accomplish it. Remember, you don't have to be the good guys. You just can't let bad things happen. That's it.
Yeah, sure, whatever, man.
Lincoln will nod about this. I'll be like, yeah.
Well, strange man, thank you for the bed. My sweetest Bonnie over here, thank you for the egg and the fish. I think we're ready to go and stop this, and he kind of finger quotes, this bad thing over here.
He gives you like a little 2-finger salute, and then Bonnie brings over his coffee and his whiskey, and he just pours them all in the same container and starts drinking out of it.
That's a man right there.
As y'all are getting up to leave, he takes out a little pouch out of his coat and he ruffles through it. And Blinken, you had the highest initiative. You see that in that pouch is a notebook and a blue stone. You remember that blue stone? Inchi has seen it, Huel has seen it, and you've seen him mess with it. It's the stone that appears to mess with memories. But he takes out that little notebook and a little piece of lead graphite, and he starts etching in it as y'all get up to leave the table.
Speaking of which, I had a question about that from last time. It was Inchi's dream about the dragon hand that he does not remember, but he does remember a man standing over him with that stone after he woke up, right?
Yes. So it wasn't really a dream. He was describing something to you, and you can't remember him describing it to you. It's like you got out of jail, and he said, "Hey, Inchi," and he shook your hand and started talking to you about something, and you can't remember anything he said until he took his hand off of you.
Okay, so the most significant thing I would remember is just that stone in his hand.
Yes, something weird happened with your memory, and you noticed that he was holding that stone in his hand while he was doing
Got it. Okay, I'm good.
I think Lincoln wants to just, because, that's be early enough to go to the museum. So he wants to head over to the museum and see if we could at least scout it out, see what's going on there.
And she just kind of smiles and waves at Bonnie, who he has affection for just because of that fish egg. But then he trails right behind Blinken. Bye, Bonnie.
Bye, Inche. So y'all get out into the city. The early morning is filled with people making their way to and from their places of employment. You see peasants already pulling in produce that they had started pulling and tilling from the earth a few hours before. You see brick makers, you see textile people, cloth makers, people that dye things for a living, all going on their way to work. You see people selling food out of carts. Horses travel down the streets. There are members of the Street Watchers Guild that direct horse traffic and buggy traffic around the city. There's signs that point you back the way you came the day before, to the north of the city, to the Sea Ward, towards Eltorchul Villa. Eltorchul Villa is a noble villa that has many things in it, including the College of History and the Museum of Nature. Y'all hang out around the villa until it opens.
I was gonna say, like, a few minutes before we got there, could we have broken up into like twos? Like, I'll go with Sleepy,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Destry.
fine.
Destry.
Yeah.
Just so it doesn't look like we're all together. You know what I mean? Like, them two will arrive, and then like me and Destry will arrive like 5 minutes after, just so it's we're not all walking as a group.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. It is 2 silver pieces per person to enter the museum.
Okay.
Who has the money to pay for that?
Hey, Blinken, I don't got no cash right now.
I'll pay for it.
Okay, thanks, I guess.
I can't find my starting gold, but I'm pretty sure I have like a bit.
It'll cost you 1 gold piece, 1 gold dragon to get everybody up.
I got some money left over from a job, so I'll toss a gold.
Actually, Huel, you should have technically less gold than everybody else because your Baldarian coins would be less valuable.
Oh,
Actually,
dang it.
yeah, fuck you. I'm going to do that to you. Yeah, remove 2 gold pieces.
Oh, inflation's crazy out here.
It's the fucking standard, dude. PG's got to catch up.
Hey, and she has nothing. You ain't the pro one, dude. It's good.
Okay, so who wanted to go in first?
Like I'm legitimately like trailing behind Blinken.
Okay.
What's your character's name, Sean?
Inchi.
Inchi, sorry.
Walking up the steps of the museum, you see that the facade of the Eltorchul Villa Museum of Natural History boasts enormous columns and elegant archways hewn from marble. Cosmopolitan visitors bustle around the entrance. including nobles in their fancy outfits, along with common people that were able to pay the 2 silver pieces to get in. The first area you come to is the grand entrance. Statues depicting robed human women flank the sides of this public mingling space, which boasts a marble column in the center. The museum's information desk is situated just inside the front doors. To the north is a grand staircase draped in carpet. So Blinken and Inchi, y'all are the first to walk in. You would have paid the guards by the door to get in. So all these people here that are labeled noble, or the picture of the person with the green collar, that's just a civilian. All the ones in black cloaks are guards.
Oh, Blake, and this place is pretty
What would
fancy.
y'all like to do?
Yeah, I would converse with Inchi and be like, yeah, it's a fancy place. I'm just kind of pointing around. Look at that fancy artwork there, and I'm like, trying to have an open conversation. But at the same time, I'm going to be looking around and kind of scoping the place to see how the guards are, like how if there's like a patrol pattern or if they're just kind of standing there. I'm just kind of like nonchalantly having this run-off conversation with Inchi while I'm trying to pay attention to the security.
And she doesn't care about the artwork, but he is like very distracted by the sculptures. He appreciates those, and he's kind of a little distracted.
Yeah, these statues, man, they're really cool. These human women, they don't have a display name or anything like that. They're actually just like decoration, not exhibits, but you really like them, and that's cool. Roll an Arcana check.
Damn it! Sorry, I got a proficiency in it, but I got 7th.
You look at these statues and you assume that they're so perfect they must have been carved with magic, but you can't detect what kind it must have been. There's the information desk here, right by the door. It has a poster, a scroll that is drawn on it. Merkmier Gala tonight. Tickets sold out. There are 2 guards in this room, Blinken, that you notice. There's one to the left in the center and one to the right in the center.
Yeah.
And they march back and forth to that big marble column in the center, and they march back to the edge of the room. You see that to the left and right, there are hallways, and you can see lights in the other rooms. You can see other guests mingling through those. And then you can see over here on the right side, there are doors that have little like nameplates on them that say where they go. Maybe if you got closer, you could read what they are. And then to the north, there is the grand staircase leading to the upper floors.
So eventually, I'll strike up the conversation with Inchi. I guess my character doesn't really care if he's paying attention. The whole point is just trying to, fit in with the crowd. If there's a crowd, will be like, yeah, this looks pretty nice here. And then I'm like looking at the doors on the right, see what they say while I'm like walking around.
The one on the bottom says Curator Alda Allen, the curator that Dr. Daniels told you about,
Right.
the one that seems to have it out for Dr. Daniels. The room right above that is the records room. And then you try to get up closer to that north room to see what it was. Go ahead and roll what would this be? A performance check. Both of you do it together.
All right, 1 second. Okay, performance.
Got a 14.
Nice.
Hey.
Who came to the game? What's up, Rex? Good to see you.
I'm gonna roll real
You've
dice.
been here this entire time?
Yeah, well, I've been recording, so that's not true. I rolled. I'm gonna a 5. So I'm gonna be rolling real dice now because I hate this.
Yeah, man, go ahead. I'm fine with that. Inchi, you got a really good roll, so you managed to get up to that top area. However, a guard stops you, Blinken, and says, "Oi, mate, you don't need to be over here. Move along."
Oh, sorry. That's
Inchi.
I'm sorry.
Inchi, you get the idea that it'd be a good idea to move along too, but being a few steps closer to it, you can see that top room is the guard's room.
And she doesn't notice that he lost his friend until he actually got to the room. So they're like, where'd he go? And then
You see that a guard's shooing him away.
and she just kind of waves, thinking that he just kind of involuntarily left, didn't she? And he just wants to peek into the room that says the guard's room.
Okay, Inchi, you try to take advantage of the guard's distractions, and you reach for the doorknob. As you're doing that, Huel and Destry walk into the Eltorchul Museum of Natural History, and people are buzzing about the gala that's going to happen later tonight.
I'm gonna break a bottle I found on the side of the road and take the bottom circle of it, the bottom broken knife, and put it like where my eye is, so it looks like a monocle. I'm gonna act all fancy and grab a stick from the bush. Let it blend in, Destry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull the monocle
Hey.
out of his eye, flip it to where the bottom is the flat side that's not all sharp, and place that side on his eye. If you're going to wear it properly.
And you'll see his head flop back and like a bobblehead for a second. He's like, yeah, that's kind of smart.
A little trail of blood goes down because you jammed it into your face.
Yeah, there's like that couple, like it looks like chew marks, like dots along, like connect the dots puzzle on his face.
Yes. So, Destry, you already look like you fit in with some of the nobles that are milling about.
I'm well dressed. I do have like a little bit of a rugged look because of the short beard and the long hair. I'm not well groomed, but I'm well dressed.
So, walking into the museum, what would y'all like to do?
Well, I believe my aunt gave me explicit permission to come in and start an investigation prior to the gala.
She said that you could look into it as long as you kept it all in the family, and she would try to talk to the curator about getting you a chance to see the stone yourself.
Yes, I'm going to make my way to the curator. I'm going to tell my friend here to go look around.
All right, so we'll do Destry first. Destry, you knock on the office, and you hear, "Go to the information desk. I will not answer your questions."
That's nice and all, but Miss Castellanter was meant to have spoken to you for me. It's her nephew.
She goes, a Castellanza. You hear the sound of like something like tip over and roll on the floor, and then you hear steps hurriedly rush towards the door, and a woman opens the door. It is an elven woman with red hair, slender body. She has a clipboard with a piece of parchment on it in one hand, and she's wearing an elegant blue dress. And she opens the door, and you can see inside her office. A solid oak desk stands on a plush carpet in the center of this office. In the southeast corner, a strange, human-sized doll is poised in an elaborate dress on a couch. There are also oak wooden cabinets that have like records and such inside them. There are pieces of parchment and scrolls on the desk, and there is also an elegant black dress hanging on one of the walls, clearly for the gala tonight. And she says, "Yes, Destry Castellanza, pleasure to meet you." And she reaches out a bony hand for a handshake.
I'll go in for a handshake, sure.
"Yes, I'm told that you had some security concerns about the gala tonight."
Yes. As you are aware, because of the rumors that I heard, that there is a issue with one of the objects being shown during the gala tonight.
She says, "All of our displays on tonight come to us straight from the Eltorchul University, fresh from the Merkmier site dig. They are of pristine origin. There is absolutely nothing to worry about. They have been cleaned. They are ready to go on display. People have been working around them nonstop. The biggest safety concern tonight is too many people. The Fire Watchers Guild says that we can only have 20 people in the room. I think we could get it up to 25, maybe even 30. We'll see."
That sounds nice and all, but I believe the exhibit itself is the problem.
She eyes you as if she's kind of annoyed that you're still pressing on this.
Did my aunt speak to you or not?
She did. You have concerns about the Merkmier Stone, but I promise you, those are mere rumors put up by a now fired employee who was clearly just trying to get back at us.
I have little concern about the employee. I'm more concerned about the Castellanter name. If something happened and that stone did happen to, in fact, be, I don't even know what the rumors said. All I know is that it could be dangerous and lead to many deaths. And if that happened during the gala tonight, do you know how bad that would hurt the name? Do you know how much money we would lose? You don't want that over your head, do you?
She says, "I assure you, Mr. Castellanter, your concerns are the same as mine. If this museum goes down, so does mine. So does my reputation. I would not want anything at all like that to happen. Please.
Then you will have no
Please,
problem
let's
with
put all
me
these-
investigating into this.
She purses her lips as you like interrupt her, but you're a noble, so she's being very nice. You're used to getting treated like that. And she says, yes, yes, sir, of course. A guard is to be around Merkmier Stone at all times. There should be one up there already. Fine, fine, let us go. And she begins to walk out of her office, and then she says, oh, and she turns around and she scuttles back in on her high heels, and she picks up her little like clutch purse bag, and she throws it around her shoulder, and she begins walking out of the office again. Huel, what did you want to do when you entered the Museum of Natural History?
I'd be kind of just trying to look around and like count like the personnel, like exit ways, and
Make a perception check.
15, 13 on the dice, and then 2.
There's two guards in the center. You can see that in this hallway area to the left of you, occasionally a guard walks down into this room here in that area that I just revealed. You see a guard walk down here, then turn around and begin walking north again. You can see that there are two statues in the entranceway that are very elegantly carved. They do not appear to be any display or exhibit of the museum. That's really all you can tell in this area, but I'm going to let you keep that 15 perception check because it's really good.
Like I said, I'm just looking for like exit ways, you know what I mean, or like entrance ways for us to get in.
In this area, there really isn't one. There's just the two doors that you came in through, and then the stairway to the north. You'd have to explore different parts of this museum to discover its secrets.
Yeah, I'll try to go to the second floor. You can try to look for like windows and
All right.
oddities and stuff like that.
All right. Yeah, keep looking out for that. All right. We're going to go back to Sinji and Blinken. Blinken, you are still kind of arguing with that guard. Sinji, you were going to go for this door to the guards area to see if you could open it. Roll a stealth check or a sleight of hand check.
All right, but that is Inchi, by the way.
My bad.
Inchi.
I keep calling you Sinji from Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Okay. 1.
No. Oh, no.
Not the one.
Inchi just kind of opens the door like, hey. He's like, he audibly just says, hey, what's going on in here? Okay, yeah.
You reach for it, and you start saying, hey, what's going on here before you even fucking turn the knob. So the guard turns around and sees that first. Then you turn the knob and it's locked, and you try to turn it a little bit further, and you see some kind of magical energy emanate from that locked door, and you hear a soft "Doo, doo, doo." And the other guard in the room turns and looks around and sees that the first guard is starting his way towards you, and he begins walking toward you as well. That first guard, Inchi, looks at you and says, oi, little mate, what do you think you're doing over here? That's a restricted area.
Why is the bathroom door making that sound? And maybe
Ain't
make
no
a...
bathroom door, goblin.
Sorry, sir. Where's the bathroom?
Roll a deception check, DC 15.
13.
Blinken, you want to try to do anything to help him out?
I mean,
Let him blow his own cover.
I'm gonna go up to Inchi and I'm gonna be like, because I'm imagining Inchi is dressed like a trashy person. So, like, he's from the sewers and stuff, right? I'm
Yeah, he went to the sewers yesterday and has not taken a shower.
Yeah, exactly. No. So I would go up to him and be like, look, I'm sorry he got loose. He needs to, know his place. And I'm like looking at him like a child, be like, you know what you're doing, buddy. You know, you're going to fucking get sent to the timeout or whatever the fuck it would be. And I'm like trying to drag him like a kid.
But I don't want to go timeout.
And I'm like, I'm talking to the guards. Like, sorry. This kid, he's a nuisance. I'll take care of myself.
All right.
I hate you.
I'll let you, Blinken, roll a d6 and we'll add that to his deception check.
Okay.
Has to beat a 15 still.
Oh, that's good odds. Hold on.
But good, but not great.
Ooh, just barely.
2.
Ooh. So you get it. And the two guards are now like both next to you, and they say, sir, we have no problem with goblins here, but you need to mind your place or mind your manners. And they both sternly look at you and they let you know that they'll be watching you. And they say, any more disturbance from you and we'll kick you out. No, we'll ban you for life.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You listen to that guy. You better. I'm like talking to him as a parent. You listen to. And then I start dragging him away.
As you're dragging them away, you see one guard leans to another and says, "Oi, mate, I'm gonna take my break early today." And he starts walking off towards that room that Inchi just tried to get into. Blink and roll a perception check.
All right. Perception. Where are you?
Inchi, you roll a perception check too.
I rolled with real dice a 16 total.
There we go. Real dice, much better. God damn, Inchi. You notice that before the guard gets to the room, he reaches his hand inside his chest cloak, and the movement of the cloak implies that he like grabs something or rubs something. Then he pulls his hand out and he puts it on the locked door, and he doesn't insert a key or anything like that. He just grabs the handle, twists it, and the door opens. And you can see that there's about 2 other guards in that room, but you can't get a great look at the room because you were focused on his hands. Inchi, you were looking at the guards as they scolded you and told you to never do that again. And you were kind of jealous. They have decent armor, better than you've ever had.
I see that dagger. I want that dagger.
Oh, no, they don't have daggers. They have some swords and spears.
I want that big dagger.
So that was Inchi's turn. Blinken, what do you want to do?
After dragging him out of there, I'm gonna look at and she's like, "Behave yourself, man. We need to, be a little quiet."
I'm trying. I was just trying to open the door, get a little peek, see. What's your plan?
Tell Entry we should probably check the other, exhibits on the west there, on the left side.
Here to your left, immediately, you can see that there's a guard walking up and down this little hallway here. This is the Ancient Plants exhibit. Artificial plants made of wood, silk, and other materials sprout from artfully arranged planters. Tall ferns, bushes with strange berries, and slender trees are represented alongside placards about ancient plant life. One guard patrols this area.
I'll take note with the guard patrol there, and then I'm kind of bringing Entry along and be like, going through this exhibit, kind of gandering around, see if I could find anything useful while I look around, like maybe hidden paths or maybe like a hatch or something, because I remember there was some entrance to the attic or something. Maybe there's like stairs or something somewhere around here.
That's a good thing to look out for. Dr. Daniels mentioned that there is a small attic area with a skylight on top, and then there's also a basement that they load exhibit. The basement is also used as a storage area. Roll a perception check, Blinken.
Perception. There it is. Okay. I rolled a 13.
Nice. Right here and right here, these are secret doors. You notice that the panels on these walls don't really match up right. It's not perfect. It's not flush. You notice that from your work in the woodcutters, or what's your guild? The Guild of Fletchers and
Fletchers and archery, something like that. I forget now. Boyers, Boyers and Fletchers. That's what it was.
You take a closer look at it and you notice that, this is a door that can slide into the wall next to it. When that guard's not around, maybe you could poke around at that or just file it away that you know it's there. There are 2 secret doors that lead from this small collection of square rooms to this other collection of square rooms.
Okay.
So, Huel, as you walk up the stairs, one of the first things you notice is that there is a hallway to your left and to your right that seem to lead to different parts of the museum. You can smell the scent of coffee and fresh pastries to your left. And to the right, you can hear the sound of a flushing toilet because Waterdeep has a functioning plumbing system, and they have a dung sweepers guild that empties out buckets for buildings that don't have internal plumbing. You see someone coming out of the bathroom over here on your right. And you can also see a sign over here that says roof or attic access. But what really takes your attention is what is in front of you when you come up these stairs. You are in what the Eltorchul Museum of Natural History is most known for, the prehistoric predators exhibit. The intact skeletons of several large prehistoric monsters are on display here, including the museum's most famous display, the beautifully preserved body of an Allosaurus, its leathery skin appearing supple to the touch. An information placard next to the dinosaur explains it died in the Merkmier millennia ago and was naturally preserved. It was brought to the museum decades ago. Display cases along the room's walls hold fossils of other ancient local predators. 2 guards patrol this area. And also by the staircase, there's another one of those really elegant, nice statues of a human woman.
Here, like I said, he's been looking at like exit ways, entrance ways. He hears the bathroom and he's like, damn, someone's taking a shit. So he's not even paying attention to anything going on. And so then he sees the Allosaurus and he like that's like a scream as he sees it.
In terms of exits, that staircase to the attic seemed pretty inviting. You can also tell to the left where you smelled coffee and pastries, there was some natural sunlight coming into the hallway.
You know, I'll go towards the attic if I can.
So you notice that there are 5 privies. That's what they're called, not bathrooms, privies. There are 5 stalls with simple latches, and nothing here is locked. So yeah, you can go right on up these stairs. There you go, my man.
Yeah, make it seem like he's holding his belly. The bubble guts are kicking in, and he's gonna try to go up the stairs. Go on my belly, and then when he gets there, he moves his hands off his belly and keeps going.
A winding staircase leads up to this cramped space filled with haphazardly stacked boxes. Starlight pours into the space through a large skylight that's right above you. So there's mostly just boxes up here, appears to be extra supplies and materials, and then the skylight. There's a few chairs up here. It's clear that a few employees probably take a break up here or hide here.
He's been peeking around, like he'll look up and like the reflection will shine off of his glass monocle. They're broken glass. He's just looking up at the light.
Yeah, the sun's shining bright in through that skylight. You notice looking up at the skylight that there's just a simple sliding latch that keeps it locked. If it wasn't locked, you could lift up one of those panes of glass and probably get out through it or come in through it.
You see like his eyes go big and like the one eye's bigger because the monocle. Yeah, he's like, oh, this thinking to himself, this could be a way in or way out. Like what's the distance between like the ground and the light up top?
15 feet high.
That's a long drop.
Mm-hmm. And it's locked.
That like shine in his monocle go away for a second. He's like, man, dang it. Like he's not gonna steal anything up here. He's just gonna like look around for more like ins and outs and stuff, and then he's gonna make his way back down.
Okay, so now we are gonna go to Destry. Destry, you are walking up towards the Merkmier exhibit with the curator Alda Arkin. As she walks along, she says hey to various guests. You notice that the only ones she talks to are the noble ones, and she ignores the other ones. She passes the guards without mentioning anything to them. And as y'all are about to walk up the stairs to this area, you see this little counter here. There's one on the left side of the staircase and the right side of the staircase. Okay. There's an employee behind the counter that is selling different things. They are selling little sewn patches that you can sew onto a shirt that says Eltorchul History of Natural Museum. There are little rocks that have Eltorchul Museum carved into it. And there are various little tchotchkes and things like that they would sell to children and nobles, reproductions of various paintings and such. And you hear Alda say to one of the people working the counter, say, make sure you get a proper inventory tonight. I want every gold piece accounted for. And she turns to you and says, so hard to find good help amongst the common people.
Yes, quite. They do lack
so
a
y'all
certain use.
Exactly. They're just not useful. I really hope that your family continues its hard work of building workhouses outside of the city for these people to go and find work that they are good for, you know?
I don't like her.
She kind of likes you. She says, well, I've been at this museum for quite a while. I could show you around, a private tour. Y'all walk up the stairs, and now you are in the prehistoric predators exhibit. You see the same Allosaurus and different skeletons, as well as the 2 guards that Huel saw. Looking to your right, you can actually see Huel walking down the hallway, pretending to come out of the bathroom. You smell coffee and pastries coming to your left, and you see Alda say, oh, yes, it's just over here. Here, the Merkmier room. Do you want to do anything in this room that you're currently in, Destru?
Yes, I would like to drop a fat perception check.
Drop a stat perception check.
That's a double digit. It counts.
What are you perceiving?
There seem to be any alarms that I can see.
You heard an alarm go off earlier. Alda probably should have said something about it. She talked to one of the guards about it, we'll say.
Oh, okay.
You can't see any of the alarms, but she would talk to you. She says, yes, all of our alarms are magical, darling. The latest in magic tech. Elminster himself uses this in one of his towers here in Waterdeep. We are well safe and well secured, not to mention our heavy presence of guards here tonight. But with that fat perception check, you notice right here, next to this door that y'all are standing to, there is a vent. A little like vent meant to let air circulate from the outside in. 3 foot high, 3 foot wide, 5 foot deep air vent leading into the room next door, 10 feet off the floor. There's a metal grate around it that looks like it could be pried off if you tried hard enough.
Okay.
Alda is messing around with that bag that she ran back into her office to get, and she says, so normally you have to put a little bit of magic dust on your hands and then touch the thing that has the alarm spell on it. But fancy old me, and she says, like giving you like some sweet eyes, she says, I have the master key. And she pulls out this elegant silver key from her bag. She says, I just didn't want to get any of that magical powder on my fingers. Who knows what repeated exposure to that would do? And she fiddles with this key in a lock to the door, and she opens up this room that has stands outside of it saying Merkmier Stone unveiling tonight. She walks you in, and I'll describe it real quick, but the first thing you notice is that there is already 2 guards in this room. They're standing just on the other side of the door as y'all walk in, and Alda says, hello, Miriam. Hello, Tyrus. Anything to report? And they go, no, Miss Arkham. Exhibit is as safe as ever. So you walk in here and you see empty chairs sat around many tables that have tablecloths over them and dishes set on them, but no food yet. There are various staff members tending to these tables, putting cups and silverware down in just the right position. Against the east wall, you can see that there are several stones on display on these fancy tables. And then there's one exhibit in the middle that looks like a very big stone that has a piece of cloth draped over it. And you can see signs all around the room giving out details of the Merkmier dig and the Merkmier exhibit. And there are various drawings and paintings of the exhibit. And you can see in one of these paintings, it's clearly Dr. Cassie Daniels brushing dirt off a giant green stone.
Okay.
And she says, this is the gemstone wing. I'm hoping it will be the jewel of the Eltorchul Museum.
So I know where the stone is. I know everything I need to about what's going on here.
You still haven't seen the stone. It's covered by cloth.
I have my familiar with me, obviously.
Yes, you're Raven.
He's in the shape of a raven. I'm going to walk towards the stone that has the cloth over it and be like, may I?
And she says, use your hands gently with everything in this room.
My dear, it'll be like the cloth never knew I was here. And I'm going to lift off the cloth gently.
Do you want to roll a smooth check? See how smooth you are?
I don't want to riz. I don't want to riz. I've made this mistake enough times.
Give me that riz check, dog.
Don't make me hit on your NPCs, Mike. You won't like it when I hit on your NPCs.
My NPCs are inviting you to hit on them.
I'm surprised you haven't already.
I was told to stop.
No, okay, so you take it off and you see a very big stone, and it looks glorious. It's big, it's green. They have it on this little marble column stand just for itself. So the stone looks very heavy. It looks like it could weigh anywhere from like 80 to 120 pounds. It is this light pale green. On the edges of it, it kind of looks like it could be a murky emerald. You swear to God, it gets this lighter, paler shade of green in the center, which is very odd. You haven't seen that in a stone before. You can examine the stone all you want, but don't touch it. It has a special security mechanism in the pedestal.
Can you tell me more about this security system?
She says, yes, of course. It is some kind of magical pressure plate. Whenever the stone is removed, when it's not supposed to be, it will trigger an alarm spell. All the doors in the areas will lock, and the doors to the outside on the first floor will lock as well as alarms will raise, bringing the city watch here. Post haste and all guards in the museum to this room. I assure you, sir, your family, their reputation, and their financials have nothing to worry about.
What security systems are in place to say if this rumor is true, though? How would you stop something from, say, breaking out of it? Yes, I'm aware of your opinion on it, that it is all hearsay and bollocks.
She says, well, sir, we cannot plan for every contingency. What if one of our prehistoric animals were to come to life and roam around the museum eating people? We can't plan for everything. We have reasonable security here, reasonable expectations. The person who raised these concerns is disgraced and crazy. She was having problems long before this. Do not worry. There's nothing wrong with the Merkmier Stone. Dozens of hands, dozens of magical scholars have been over it in its normal process of study and coming to us.
What exactly did she do to be disgraced? Just raise a few concerns?
Oh, Dr. Dennis has been a thorn in my side ever since I came to this museum. She always thinks that she knows better because she is an academic. Well, I am a curator. I curate her research for the public, and sometimes that involves changing a few things or simplifying a few things. And she always raises a bugbear about it. Is always trying to take exhibits out of the museum so they can be studied further, withholding artifacts before they can be put into the museum so they can be studied further. What she doesn't realize is the great thing about a museum is that you can come here and study it and look at it, and it can also turn a profit.
Yes, she's bad for business, makes sense.
Yes, yes. And what people like her don't understand is she would not have a position, her food, her research materials, her expeditions if it weren't for the business. Waterdeep is changing, and Eltorchul Villa is trying to change with the times. Dr. Daniels, I believe, is stuck in the past.
Well, I am glad that you're doing what is best for the museum. I thank you on behalf of all the Castellanters.
Inchi and Blinken, y'all are over here in the prehistoric plants exhibit. You notice that there are some secret doors on the left over here. I'm going to say that you notice that the secret doors lead to the area V. V4 is the Ancient Cultures exhibit. Glass displays boast of objects related to the ancient Eltorchul family. Clay pots, stone tools, and scraps of leather are interspersed with informational placards about their historical significance.
Okay, well, because the guards are specifically on to Inchi, I'm gonna hold my turn and again trail behind Blinken.
If the guard comes by, I'll strike up conversation, see if I could distract them while you're, doing your thing.
When the guard comes over to you, Blinken, you notice that he's wearing really nice armor and has got like a really nice sword. Better than the typical guard old leather armor. This appears to be new studded leather armor. And the sword hilt is fresh and clean and doesn't have many scratches on it.
So, yeah, as the guard comes closer, I'm just kind of like looking at him and kind of smiling and be like, hello, good sir. Man, that's some good armor. Was it made here in the city? I'm just curious.
Oh, yeah, made by the Armorer's Guild. We apparently got ourselves a fresh batch of that inventory. Real nice, really good. Aldo really showed up for us, said that we're going to be doing bigger exhibits, so we need bigger and better security.
Yeah, I hear that there's a gala coming up, so that's good. That's good news.
Oh, gala's gonna be great. Gonna try to land myself a noble lass, if you know what I'm saying, eh?
Yeah.
And she, while this conversation is going on, how do you want to check out this secret door?
Yeah, and she's gonna like peek behind this plant right here, check to make sure Blinken's got this covered. Then he's gonna go back to this outline of the door, and he's going to see if he can open it. Is there anything I need to roll to do that?
Stealth check with advantage, because Blinken is distracting the guard.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Your first roll so low.
So Inchi just silently, like you slide like your little like claw into the tiny gap, and you pull gently, and very silently the door just slides into the wall, and you can step into this little 5x5 area right here and slide the door back. And then there's another sliding door like that on the other side. There's nothing really in this 5x5 area. It looks like it isn't swept as regularly as everywhere else. And then you slide the door open on this side, and you can just see into this Ancient Cultures exhibit. Roll insight check to see if you can determine the purpose of this room.
God damn it, it's 7.
So you need to acquire some new dice.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe buy those real dice, man. You kind of struggle to think about it in your head for a bit, but you think maybe it's like a shortcut between areas.
Yeah, I guess they're just too lazy to walk around, huh? All right. I'm going to go ahead and just pop back out over here.
All right, and you shut the door, and it's like you were never even there.
And just kind of walk up behind Blinken and give him a little tap on the shoulder.
And the guard is saying to Blinken, and then my dad shouts at me, "Hey, that's not no noble's daughter. That's a donkey."
You what an ass. And then I felt the tap. And I'm like, all right, well, appreciate that. That's very good. I hope you do get a noble ass. And then
He goes, "Yeah, mate, sounds great. We're going to go to Huel up on the second floor. Huel, you just saw your friend Destry go off into the gemstone wing with the elven woman. You are standing at the staircase. To your right is the privies and attic entrance. To the left is that smell of pastries and coffees. And to your south is the Allosaurus exhibit.
You'll hear like the conversation going on to the south with Destry, and he's gonna go towards like the western part where he's smelling like the sweets and the coffee and stuff like that. He's going to leave and he catches that whiff. He's like, oh.
All right, this is the Unearthed Cafe. This space holds a mixture of cafeteria-style tables and lounge furniture. A counter in the northeast corner sits underneath a sign that reads Unearthed Cafe. There is one guard in this area sitting in one of the chairs, and there's also an employee of the museum standing behind a counter giving out little cookies and little cups of coffee to people that pay her in gold and silver pieces, and then she deposits those gold and silver pieces into a little box that's on the counter. She says, "Welcome to the Unearthed Cafe. How may I help you today, sir?"
Oh, I was just walking around and I caught a whiff of aroma of something splendid. And he's gonna pull out his pipe. He's like, "Am I allowed to smoke in here?"
She says, "Sir, this is Waterdeep. You could smoke anywhere you want."
Like,
She pulls out a giant vape and starts hitting it.
pulls out his pipe. He like has it in his mouth and he's like puffing it. You know what I mean, to get the flame going. Like all right.
Fantastic. So you notice that the daylight you saw coming in is through some very small round windows. They'd be a tight fit even for you. So that's where that sunlight was coming from. Guard in here. There appear to be more exhibits to the south.
He's like squinting his eye that's not in the monocle, and he's like looking through the monocle like to get a better view. Looks at the windows and he's like, "Oh, I'll take a coffee to go."
She says, "One coffee for you, sir." And it is just like straight black coffee. They don't have creamer and stuff yet. She says, "That'll be 1 silver piece, sir."
He'll toss her 2 silver and then bows his head and he starts drinking the black coffee as he's leaving.
She goes, "Oh, thank you." And you're heading out of the museum?
Yeah, I'd like trying to find Inchi and Blinken and wait for Destry to finish up his excursion.
I'll say all of you meet down in the lobby area next to one of those stalls that are selling little tchotchkes. There's a little girl there like saying, "Please, please, mommy, I want the doll. I want the little doll." And there's like little dolls that are dressed up in prehistoric outfits, like little tiny wooden dolls that are pretty cheap. A common person could buy them. Going up to Destry and Alda Arkin in the gemstone wing. Alda is tapping her long fingernails against her clipboard, very politely but impatiently, waiting for you to finish your examination.
I'm gonna walk up to one of the guards, stick my hand out, and ever so politely but firmly, "Show me the dust."
He goes, "Oi, what's that?"
Gonna look stunned. Look around a bit and be like, "Is someone else asking questions? I believe I asked to be shown the dust."
He says, "Oh yeah, I got some dust on the bottom of me boot." And then Alda says, "Mr. Castellanter here would love to see the alarm dust that we use." And he goes, oh, right, sir." And he pulls a small pouch out of his pocket, and you can see inside there's like this stone, and when you rub it, like bits of it come off and would coat your hand in this fine purple dust.
What kind of check would I need to do to figure out what kind of stone it is?
Probably some kind of arcana check.
Because I have my crow with me, who's technically an imp. Would he also be able to maybe figure it out? I have better intelligence than my imp.
Yeah, I figured that. So you should probably do it. And the imp comes from your patron, right?
Correct. Would be a 19.
Oh, very nice. So your imp wasn't very helpful. It was saying stone, smash stone into smaller stones, then sell small stones for mini gold coins. So you can tell that this is a rare material, very rarely used because it is a bit fragile. You have to do a lot of processing to make it usable in building materials. It is pure silica that appears to have some kind of magical crystals mixed into it.
I'm gonna reach for the bag.
Aldous says, Sir Castellanta, my gods have better things to do. Surely you have seen enough at this point.
I told my aunt that I would be inspecting the security of the exhibit and the stone. I believe I have all day until the exhibit opens to do my inspection. By no means are you and your guards forced to stay. I have no desire to cause any trouble. And, as the curator, I must assume that you have better duties than to babysit one of your patrons' relatives in a basic security search.
She says, well, sir, with you here, you are the most important thing in the museum, so I'll be right by your side.
I must insist for you to go and check on your other duties.
Is this a persuasion or intimidation?
Let's lean this more to persuasion at the moment.
Roll me a persuasion check, difficulty 18.
I got the 8.
Hey, there you go, bud. That's almost there. She says, unfortunately, sir, your aunt also did ask me to keep an eye on you.
Would be a shame if I had to tell her you wouldn't listen to basic instructions.
Go ahead and roll your intimidation. Motherfucker!
Oh, shit.
Oh.
And then she kind of takes a step back. Sir Castellanta, I do not know what you mean to imply, but if the stakes are so high as that, we could go straight to Victoro and Amalia Castellanta themselves. They are the ones that fund this museum. Praxis, show him the stone that he wanted to see, when she mentions that to the guard. And when he hands you over the bag, Aldous says, I will be over in the Alastaurus exhibit. The gods will leave under no circumstances. When she walks out, and she's no longer flirting with you, her high heels clip on the marble floor as she walks out, and you can hear her, as soon as she gets out of the room, go, the nerve.
So hard to find good help these days, don't you think?
Oh, motherfucker. You're in here by yourself. What do you want to do?
I have the silica magic dust stone. Obviously, the guard's watching me. I just wish to firsthand experience the security system.
Which door?
South door.
South door, he says, no, sir, that one don't have no alarm on it. The door that you entered this room through, that has an alarm on it. And he means this one right here that you saw the curator unlock with her key.
So it stands to reason that if I relock it, it would require the dust.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to do that.
You step outside, Alda relocks the door. You try to turn it without the dust on your hands, and you hear that soft doo.
Perfect. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the dust, snap it off, and go to unlock the door.
You don't even have to unlock it. With that dust on your hand, you just turn the knob and it unlocks smoothly by itself, and you can open it and that alarm does not go off.
All right. Now, what happens to the dust on my hand? Is it still there?
It's still there, but it's lost that purple glowy sheen, and now it's just gray silica dust.
So it's single use. Okay. So I'm going to break off a bit of the silica again.
Mm-hmm.
And
the guards are watching you, by the way.
That is fine. And I'm going to open the pedestal up. Is it, or does it open? If I is there any hatches or anything, or is it just the rock on the pedestal?
Yeah, it's not behind any glass or anything. It's just the exposed rock on a pedestal.
So I'm gonna look at the guard before I do this and be like, how do you take off the stone in order to bring it to cleaning? During the gala, you want it to be nice and clean. How would they take it off?
Well, the cleaning staff that comes in after the museum closes up every night as a sorcerer on hand dispels the magic and reinstates it once all the cleaning processes have been done.
So there's a sorcerer who comes in. I'm gonna pass the silica between my hands, look at it some more, and hand it back to him.
Okay. You notice that your hands are just covered in that dust and it got all over your clothes and everything too.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, to think our lovely security system is guarded by a rock. Let out one of those noble like chuckles where it's just like, I can't believe how silly that is.
They make new things every day, sir.
Intriguing, isn't it? As I'm going to step out. I'm not going to touch anything.
As you step out, Alda Arkin is writing on her little clipboard while watching you. She can write without looking.
Did I not dismiss you, ma'am?
She said, "Oh, I'm doing my daily inspections. The Allosaurus exhibit examined."
Well, I'll put in a good word to my aunt for you. I appreciate all of your hospitality. It was very nice.
She says, "Yes, and in this report that I'm writing of your visit, did you notice anything that we could improve?"
For starters, when you let the average riffraff in, I see that you don't have someone checking to make sure that they aren't armed. For example, I saw 3 vagrants walk in earlier, brandishing weapons.
We will check all riffraff for weapons at the gala tonight.
But what's to stop them from damaging something now?
The guards, the many guards that we employ.
How close is one of the guards to me?
There are 2 in this room right now.
So I'm going to step in front of the whatever-asaurus.
Allosaurus.
Yeah. Draw my dagger, and I'm going to slash at it.
When you put your hand on the hilts of your sword, the guards put the hands on their hilts and step towards you. As your sword gets close to this thing's face, you appear to activate something, and the entire giant figurine of the Allosaurus begins to move. Its head rotates to the side, and its arms go up and down, and it shifts its weight from one leg to the other. And you hear a... and it moves very animatronically and robotically.
It's a neat parlor trick, and I'm going to put my dagger away.
Well, it was a pleasure to have you come by the museum.
Oh, I'm not done.
Motherfucker.
I'm sorry.
Exactly? What?
I'm going to walk this way.
Okay. You walk into the Unearthed Cafe. There's a woman behind the counter selling little pastries and bits of black coffee. There's a guard there that she is talking to, and they're both excited for the gala tonight.
I'm just going to walk right past them, and I'm going to start heading down this way.
All right, so there's a guard walking along this hallway from left to right. There's actually 2 of them. Oh, wait, there's actually 3 of them. The Underground Wonders exhibit. Glittering ore and gemstones are arranged in velvet-backed display cases. These ores and stones look like they would be worth some money each. You also notice that in this room, V8 right here, that there is a fake Merkmier Stone, a replication of the Merkmier Stone, set to look just like it. It's just a normal stone that's been painted green. There's also the archaeological display. Picks, trowels, brushes, and other archaeological tools are on display here from famous local digs. You notice that the hand axes and the pickaxe here are incredibly well made because they're designed to just pick at the rock all day. They make really good weapons.
Would the untrained eye be able to discern that stone from the normal stone?
Yeah, the moment that you looked at it closely, you'd realize it was painted and not like semi-transparent like the actual Merkmier Stone is. But it looks the same, like it's been carved to look the same and is presumably the same weight.
Wave the guard over.
Oi, sir, how may I assist you?
What can you tell me of this stone?
Well, sir, we got different stones here. We got a sapphire ore, we got emerald ore.
Not all the stones, this one in particular.
Oh, this is a replication of the Merkmier Stone, sir. It's what we've been allowing the press to come in and take looks at. We also used it the decorators used it when they were arranging the gemstone museum. See, it's too valuable to have the real stone out there at all times, so we have this little fake one that we used for staging purposes.
And is this one got security on it as well?
Just the normal amount of security, sir. Same as any other exhibit.
Good to know. And I'm going to step off down the hallway. I'm still not touching anything, by the way.
Roll a perception check. 19. As you walk along, you notice that there are secret doors in this hallway, similar to the ones that they found downstairs. I'm letting you, the player, know that. You, the character, doesn't know that they found them downstairs. But they're right here. There's also just a normal door leading from the area with the archaeological dig tools that would make good weapons. There's a door right here that is locked, but if you go up, it would take you back into the gemstone wing. I'm sorry, I fucked up. There's 2 rooms with nice things in here. There's the rooms with the small stone ores, the ones with the archaeological tools, underground wonders exhibit. There's also a dagger and a hand axe there from primitive societies.
So there's a secret door right here. Am I to assume it
Yep.
leads into here, or is it a staircase?
Yes. No, it's not a staircase.
When the guard's not looking, I'm going to quietly use my leg to push on the wall.
When you put a little bit of pressure on it, it slides to the side smoothly and quietly.
All right, and I'm going to make my way back down the stairs to the rest of the and find the rest of the guys.
All right, you see everybody hanging out around that tchotchke table. Somebody else comes up and buys a lot. It's a noble family, so they end up giving 5 gold pieces to the person behind the counter. You all exit the museum and you are now on the stairs outside. I'll say it's around noon. The gala that you have 4 tickets for is happening tonight at 7. What would y'all like to do?
Once we're away from the museum and the guards, I'm going to relay everything to the party. I'm going to show them my hands and clothes that are covered in the dust. So this is what we're going to need to get through all the locked doors, but there are secret doors on the 2nd floor that can get us into the room without it.
And I'll relay that there's secret doors in the 1st floor as well, but obviously I don't think it'll be leading upstairs. So that's interesting.
There's also a sorcerer. I didn't ask for any information regarding him because it would be too blatant. But he comes in and dispels the magic guarding the pedestal. And if we can get him to keep it dispelled till after, should be able to acquire the gem without causing a ruckus.
So how should we do that? Because that would probably be the best route, unless anybody else have any other.
Well, this dust will get us through most of the alarms. It, however, will not get us past the transmutation magic guarding the gem.
Hey, Destry,
Mm-hmm.
as you're holding up your hands explaining that, you notice that the purple crystals are kind of fading and becoming gray on your hands.
They also seem to be time sensitive. It's a good thing we found secret doors. We might not be able to use the dust.
Well, if we were to do this, when what would be the approach? Would we do it during the gala, or should we do it?
Well, I feel like the best bet would be to acquire information regarding the sorcerer. Find out who he is, where we can locate him. Convince him to either go in and leave it unlocked, or find something to leverage him and force him to keep it unlocked.
Do we have any information besides a sorcerer?
No, I would have inquired more about it. However, the curator and I got into a bit of a dick measuring contest, let's say.
So, how would we find this sorcerer? Think anybody at the Yawning Portal would know about this sorcerer?
Oh, let's ask our employer. What's his face?
Oh, Gladys.
Or what's her face? What's her face?
Daniel.
Daniel?
Yeah. Dr. Daniel. We could go over there and see.
Y'all remember that Dr. Daniel's office is over in the academy area of the villa? Last time you saw her, she was packing up her office and being fired. You don't know if she is there right now or not. All right, so y'all go by her office, and you see that she is in fact there. She's packing up the very last of her books. She's down to just 2 or 3 boxes that she's going to pick up and take out. But you all also notice that sitting at her desk with his feet up on the desk and a big old stack of books is Galanus, and he's flipping through these books, and he's asking questions of Dr. Daniels. And he says, now, when Dagolt Neverember fled, did anybody get a chance to interrogate him or debrief him before he left the city limits? And Dr. Daniels looks scatterbrained and says, No, I don't believe anybody did. He fled in the middle of the night and ran straight to Neverwinter. God's be damned. Everywhere I look for this thing, it's another dead end after another. Throws the book on the table and he picks up another one and he starts flipping through it. Oh, there's the crew. How did your scouting mission go?
Well, we have an idea. We're forming a plan.
And Dr. Daniels goes, How can I help?
The cleaning crew. The one who goes in to disenchant the magic?
Oh yes, he'd be from the Sweepers Guild. They have many people that specialize in disabling magic alarms for cleaning purposes. He would come in with the cleaning crew after everyone leaves the museum at night. I think the guild usually rolls around this area at about 1 p.m. or 1 a.m., I believe, and that's when they would start their cleaning. It usually takes them 2 hours, and then they leave.
Say we're going to the Sweepers Guild.
As y'all leave her office, you can hear Galannis' voice. Now, last time I was in Waterdeep, there was this band, group of bards called themselves the Doom Raiders. What have they been up to recently? So you find the Sweepers Guild. It's about noon, so the sun's high in the sky. People are gathering in the main hall of the Sweepers Guild. They're here for their break. There's a giant pot of stew going. There's fresh fruit being handed out, coffee, water, various kinds of juices and things like that. Seems to be a pretty decent guild to be a part of. People with dirty, dusty clothes are sitting down, talking and laughing. People with grease and such on their hands.
Who is in charge of scheduling for all of today and tonight's activities?
And the woman behind the desk goes, "Sir, are you a member of the guild? Can you present your ID card?"
Oh, no. I wish to hire someone for a cleaning service.
She says, "Oh, yes, of course. Which ward do you live in, sir?"
Funny enough, I live in the C ward.
She goes, "Well, that's perfect. You came to the right place." So she looks at your clothes. She says, "Is this a house or a manor?"
It's for a museum. I believe that there should be an outstanding agreement for nightly cleanings of the museum. However, I have a personal request of the guild, and I would like to speak with whom is in charge regarding the scheduling about a thorough cleaning of a specific location in the museum.
Okay. Just before we go on here, it sounds like you're getting very close to committing the type of fraud, which is illegal in all guilds. You can't be punished for that by the guild, and if the guild escalates it, you can be punished by the city.
Well, I have no intention of committing fraud, so we're good.
Okay. Forgery of an official document, official punishment, flogging and exile for 10 summers. What the fuck?
Hell yeah.
They don't fuck around.
I'll be glad for the vacation.
Espionage, death, and permanent exile.
Death or permanent exile. You don't die and then get permanent exile.
Not even your ghost can come back to the city. Oh, using magic to influence an official, such as with a suggestion spell. Fine or damages of up to 1,000 silver shards. All right, so what did you want to say to this secretary again?
I'm just asking for whoever's in charge.
She says, well, you want to schedule something like this and look at an official contract? You know what? I'll go get the ward guild master here.
Shall I wait here?
Yes, she actually says, well, he'll take the meeting in his office. Are all of you coming?
Yes, these are my bodyguards.
Excellent.
You'll see Huel like munching on a piece of watermelon.
Yeah, hold up. Persuasion check or deception check with disadvantage.
You said disadvantage?
Yes, I did.
Huel is so happy right now.
Why can't you guys be like well groomed to 1?
Ooh.
Nice.
And she says,
Yeah, what are you doing?
Sir, I know that someone like you may look down on what we do here, covered in the filth and grime of this city, but we are noble here. Noble in our spirit, and we are not here for you to make jokes or waste our time. Please, you and your group of ruffians, turn around and go another way.
Madam, you are insulting a castellanter. I will have your name and your job if you do not get me this meeting.
You got a 1 on that deception check, dude. She knows you're lying. She knows you're up to something. It's her job to make sure that people don't waste company time. 2, what do you say? I'm a castellanter. I'll have your job. She laughs at you.
I'm going to walk past her.
She goes, sir, you are not allowed back there. Your family has no claim to this guild hall.
Yet.
That's not how guild halls work. Her private business. They're kind of y'all's ass right now. They make, I guess I haven't explained this, but it's like that early mercantile period of capitalism where like guilds and were like getting more powerful than the nobles. So you're
Yeah.
in that kind of economic situation. So when she says that you're not allowed back there, she's not just saying that you're really not allowed back there. Are you really doing this?
No, I would not have walked past her.
I need the John Cena. Are you sure about that sound effect?
I mean, I have an alternative idea, but it's not a good one. I'm gonna grab the boys and usher to the door if no one's gonna stop me. We can always stake out the museum and find out whoever is going to be going in from the Sweepers Guild.
I guess that'll be our only viable option.
No, we could break in.
Yes, but it seems to be kind of
I
hard
just
to break
traveled months to get here. I don't want to get arrested on the second day.
You could also go in there while the gala's active.
We do have tickets
Not
for
every
Gala.
alarm is turned on, while the museum's open. Just the areas that were locked, afterwards they would have more alarms up.
I think like the smart way of doing it is probably waiting for Sweepers Guild, but
I mean, whenever this guild comes by, I can be invisible and try to follow them, see if I can try to find us an advantage.
The plan was to bribe the cleaner to just leave the alarm off, because he's meant to come in, turn it off, they do the cleaning, and he turns it back on. And
Is it just one guy?
well, I'm assuming there's a group of them, but he himself is the one who's meant to do it. The rest are just cleaners.
yeah, there would be like a group of people and then one sorcerer that deals with alarms.
Offer him the bribe, he says no, then we force him.
Yeah.
Because, let's be real, what is one sorcerer compared to the four of us? A low sorcerer. A cleaner.
Call the guards, and then it'd be the entire city on against us.
Yeah, there isn't really a good. The other option is try to sneak in during, the gala and get the stone. But of course, there's going to be people there, so that'll be tricky. And then the after hours would be, the sweeping guild, and they'll be the ones that are typically cleaning.
Now, just an idea. I can be invisible, and I can try to sneak with them until we get to this egg. Whenever they disenchant, I can grab it and run. And just bolt for the door. And I'll jump in the sewers and run.
What is it with you in sewers?
No one else wants to go in the poop.
I
can
mean,
do
he
it.
has a point.
Good.
So I'm going to start drawing out a map.
The intro music is Ain't No Rest for the Wicked by Connie Jash, and the video is Waterdeep Dragon Heist by Smite or Flight.